Of all the writers, artists, entrepreneurs, and creators I've interviewed over the years, there's one thing that shows up over and over again. All these people who write books and build businesses and create incredible work and share it with the world, they sometimes still feel like an imposter. They deal with imposter syndrome. And I don't love that term. I know it's thrown around a lot, but that's what they say. And I find it so interesting because even all of these people that are creating and putting really great work out into the world, they still sometimes doubt their work. They wonder if it's good enough. They wonder if one day someone's going to show up and realize they're not as good as they think they are. And while nobody wants to feel like an imposter, the cool part is that they show up anyway. They continue to put their work out into the world, even when they sometimes doubt themselves, even when they don't necessarily have the level of confidence they want to have. We can spend so much of our lives waiting to feel ready to write the book, start the podcast or the YouTube channel, or apply for the job, start a business, whatever it is that you feel called to do. We can spend so much time just waiting for the perfect time, waiting to feel confident enough. But that confidence doesn't just show up. It is developed over time. It is developed by putting in the work. It is developed by saying, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to try this. I was interviewing Kieran Westwood, who is a writer, editor, and YouTube creator. And he shared with me that he submitted one of his pieces of work to a writing competition. And he didn't end up winning, but he did get shortlisted. So he got a shout out, which is really cool. And I thought that was awesome because he wasn't really sure if he should submit his work, but he created it and he had to work through the development of what it was going to be and then submitted it. And he was so glad that he did. It wasn't about winning or not. It was simply the fact that he got joy out of writing and it was a fun project to work on. And I shared with him that I participate in the Writer's Digest Poem a Day Challenge every year. And in November, they have a chapbook challenge. And at the end of that challenge, they do the same thing. You could submit your work for this poetry competition. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to apply and submit a chapbook. I didn't have a chapbook at the time, but I had enough poems to create a chapbook. So I went through the process of putting that together and I submitted it. I did not win and I did not get shortlisted or any kind of shout out. But that's not the point. The point for Kieran, the point for me, it was simply something I thought would be really fun. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun looking at old poems, some that I edited to make a little bit better. I decided which poems should go in the chapbook and which to leave behind. And it was just a really fun process. And there was a lot of value in that because it made me go back to some of my work. And it was a fun process. And it also helped me discover some new ideas. It also helped me become a better writer. There's so much value in the creative process that I think a lot of us often forget. We forget that doing these small acts every day support us in our bigger vision. They support us in our confidence. They help us grow creatively. They help us build skills. And instead of embracing that, sometimes it's easy to get frustrated by it because if we aren't where we want to be with our creative work at that moment, it can feel frustrating. But there is an opportunity to just have a little bit more fun in the creative process and also not take everything so seriously. One of the ways that we can do that is to redefine success. What does success look like for you in any kind of project, whether it's writing a book or publishing a book or starting a business or whatever it is that you are excited to create? Think about what success looks like to you. For most people, it's how many likes did it get? How many followers do I have? Do people like it? Is it going viral? Those are those markers of success. But the challenge is that none of those things are in our control. We can't control if someone's going to like our work, and we can't control necessarily every single outcome. But what we can control is showing up every day. When we switch our definition of success to showing up consistently, we end up creating more. We end up building confidence and actually moving forward on our dreams because we can totally control that. Your job isn't to make people love your work. Your job is to do the work. Your job is to make something. Every time you create, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Every poem, every video, article, painting, podcast, whatever it is that you're creating, every time you do that, you're casting another vote to the person that you want to become. One piece may not change your life, although it does happen, but hundreds of pieces will change who you become. And that's when the confidence you might be waiting for will finally show up. Because it's not going to just show up one morning out of nowhere. It grows from keeping promises to yourself and doing the work you say you're going to do. I love getting to interview all different types of creators, and it's so interesting to see how similar our challenges are. The same challenges show up time and time again. And yet we have to work through them and keep going. It doesn't always feel perfect. It doesn't always feel like the right time, but the people who create anything meaningful, they show up and they're not afraid to try something new. We can get so stuck in our heads, especially when we are overthinking. And when we do that, it's very easy for us to focus on all of the things that will go wrong instead of focusing on all the things that will go right. And maybe sometimes the things that we didn't want to happen is actually exactly what needed to happen in order for us to get to the place that we were meant to get to. We just had to go through a specific challenge. We had to go through something that built your confidence or your skill set or your mindset, whatever it is. Talking to writers is always fun because so often they will say, writing is so hard. It is so hard to become a great writer. And yet they do it anyway. They do it because they have a passion for it. They do it because they love it. Just like you have a passion. Whatever that passion is, you're called to do that. You feel so compelled to share a message or to build upon an idea. And you can't let that go. That is inside of you for a reason. If you are working on a creative project, if you are doing something and you're in this place of maybe a little bit of imposter syndrome, maybe a little bit of it's not the right time, maybe you're waiting for permission. We can't wait for permission. We can't wait for any of that. It's simply getting started. Once you get started, that's when you're going to see that creative process do what it's intended to do, which is to help mold you and shape you into becoming the person that has the abilities to get to where you want to go in whatever project that you're working on. So no matter where you are in the process, if you are a seasoned creator or you are starting out, you are new, just know that everybody that is out there that is creating something new, that is starting something that they've never done before, even when it looks like they have all the confidence in the world, they still sometimes go to bed at night and wonder, is this really going to work out? Can I really do this? And that's okay. We can have those feelings. We just can't let doubt stop us from putting in the work and trying it and seeing what happens. And that's just a mindset shift that we all have to go through in order to create and do anything meaningful. So no matter where you are in the process, have fun and keep creating.